No Coors hangover in yesterday's ball game as the Rockies started their road trip by scoring 7 runs against the Giants. Rockies are now 12-10 on the year. That's good enough for second place in the National League West after the San Diego Padres, who look like the team to beat early on this year. Still early. Dodgers are in third place now. They've just played one more game than the Rockies, so they're 12-11. Rockies took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers in their first road trip of the season. So at least early on, team to beat has been the Padres. Derek Rodriguez gets the start for the San Francisco Giants today. He's had a rough start to this year. 6.53 ERA, 20 2/3 innings pitched, 14 walks against 10 strikeouts. Son of Pudge Rodriguez, Hall of Fame catcher. David Dahl is going to lead things off. We saw a bit of a change in the lineup for manager Bud Black yesterday. Nothing major. First pitch to Dahl is taken for a strike, but just swapping out Story for Blackman. Story and Blackman. It was Story 2, Blackman 3. Yesterday it was Blackman 2, Story 3 in the order. And Bud Black was hoping to maybe get both of them going. It certainly worked. Blackman got 4 hits in yesterday's ball game, and Trevor Story drove in a couple runs as well. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Bud Black will go with that order once again this evening. 0-2 pitch to Dahl is swung on and missed, so that's a good start for Derek Rodriguez. Strikes out Dahl on 3 pitches to start this ball game.
Batting second, the right fielder, number 19, Charlie Blackman.
And that'll bring up Charlie Blackman. Come on, Marquez getting the start for the Rockies today. He's also had a bit of a rough stretch, ERA up over 6. Blackman swings and lines one up the middle into center field. The base hit. He's on a tear right now. So 1-out single for Charlie Blackman here in the first. 4-hit game yesterday, and he's on pace for just about the same today. Trevor Story will be the batter. 224 on the year, 3 home runs, 10 driven in, 4 stolen bases. He's been better as of late after a really rough start to his season. The same can be said for many hitters in the Rockies lineup, but they've been looking like their normal selves more and more lately. First pitch to Story is taken low with a changeup. Story is 7 for his last 17 at the plate. That's a .412 average over his last 5 games played. Rodriguez into his motion. The 1-0 is swung on and lined foul to the screen. One delivery is going to miss low and away with a changeup. Hitters count now on Trevor Story. Brief peek over his shoulder at first base from Rodriguez. Delivers to Story, and it's swung on and lined in the air towards right field. Going back on this one is Pence, and that ball's going to be off the wall. Blackman on his way to third, and he will be in there. Story was at second far before Blackman got up to third base as he was waiting to see what would happen on that one. It's the 5th double of the year for Trevor Story. A couple runners aboard now on second and third for Nolan Arenado. That 2-3 combination of Blackman and Story is really working out right now. Nolan Arenado, .354 average on the year, 8 home runs, 23 runs batted in. That's good enough for second in the National League in terms of RBI. The leading RBI man in the NL is Hunter Pence, playing right field for the Giants. He drove in one yesterday. Nolan Arenado drove in a couple yesterday to keep pace. First pitch from Rodriguez to Arenado is taken low with a changeup. That .444 on base percentage for Nolan Arenado right now ranks 9th in the National League. He's really become a complete hitter, has Nolan Arenado. A bit of a free swinger at times early in his career. He's just a good hitter now. There's a strike with a fastball. Not the highest of velocities from Derek Rodriguez. We'll see higher from German Marquez. Pretty much low 90s with the fastball for Rodriguez. Marquez tends to sit in the mid-90s, occasionally even upper 90s. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Arenado. That's going to be low with a 2-seam fastball at 88 miles per hour. And Now a hitter's count on Arenado. Story got a hitter's count, and he doubled off the wall in right center. We'll see what Arenado can do with this 2-1 delivery. And he swings and chops it foul. That swung on and chopped foul. We'll do it one more time. From the set position, Rodriguez looks out of the corner of his eye towards second base and delivers the pitch, which is swung on and skied to shallow right field. Pence will make an easy catch. And coming in to score on that one is Blackman. It'll be a sac fly for Nolan Arenado. Rockies take a 1-0 lead. So Rockies will play from in front today. It took them a while to get some runs scored in yesterday's ballgame, but once they started scoring, they continued to do so until they got up to 7 and tacos yesterday. Daniel Murphy will be the batter, .314 average on the year. Story is on second base now with 2 outs. 1-0 Rockies. First pitch to Murphy is swung on and missed, really tied him up with a curveball inside. Murphy's on a 4-game hitting streak. He's on a real hot stretch as of late. Rodriguez looks over at second base, delivers a 0-1 pitch to Murphy, and it's taken inside. Murphy lays off the curveball that time. There's a swinging and ground ball, weakly hit to short. It's Brandon Crawford up with the ball, throws to first, and that'll retire the side. RBI sac fly for Nolan Arenado. Gets the Rockies on the board early. It's 1-0 Colorado going to the bottom of the first. German Marquez getting the start for the Rockies today. He was better his last time out, but he's got a 6.87 ERA on the year, 18 1/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts to 6 walks. That's a pretty good ratio. The only problem is he's given up 27 hits, and a few of them have been home runs. So 1-2 record. This is his 5th start of the year. Again, something to build off of in his last outing. It was much better than the previous 2. First batter he faces will be the leadoff man, Wilmer Flores, here in the bottom half of the first inning. Giants will bat. First pitch from Marquez is taken for a strike of the knees of the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Again, we mentioned 12-10 is the Rockies' record, good for second in the National League West. Dodgers just played one more game, and they have lost one more game as well, so they're 12-11. It's third place, and the Giants are in fourth. Padres leading the NL West at this juncture. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Quickly 0-2 on Wilmer Flores. Marquez into his motion. The windup and the 0-2 pitch is taken low and away with a curveball. Strike 3 called. He got him on the inside corner. That's out number 1 and the first strikeout of the day for German Marquez. Painted the inside corner with a 95-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. That's the first out of this bottom half of the first. Brandon Crawford will be the batter. 179 average with a couple home runs, 11 driven in. Really slow start for him. Could say the same for quite a few Giants batters. Brandon Belt, Buster Posey, we see their averages below the Mendoza line as well. Meanwhile, Hunter Pence is absolutely carrying the club and then some, hitting over 350. Leading the National League in runs batted in. First pitch to Crawford is going to be a strike on the inside corner. Crawford, good numbers in his career against Marquez. A .419 batting average as a home run. The 0-1 pitch is taken just a little bit low. So Crawford is seeing a guy he has hit well in his career, hoping that'll get him going on the season. Marquez hoping that slow start for Crawford will mean good things for him today, and this 1-1 delivery is going to be taken inside. Slider, and it's a hitter's count now on Brandon Crawford. Two-1 delivery from Marquez is swung on and chopped weakly back towards the mound. Marquez off the mound to make the play. He'll throw to first, and that's out number 2. Let's look at the rest of the lineup for the Giants. Same as yesterday, batting third, the right fielder Hunter Pence, batting cleanup the left fielder Mike Yastrzemski, batting fifth, the third baseman Pablo Sandoval, batting sixth in center field Alex Dickerson, batting seventh, the first baseman Brandon Belt, batting eighth, the catcher Buster Posey, and batting ninth is Derek Rodriguez, today's starting pitcher. Hunter Pence hitting .368 on the year, takes first pitch curveball for a strike. 9 home runs, 25 driven in, leads the NL in 1162 OPS. Really struggled in his final year with the Giants in 2018, then signed a one-year contract with the Rangers and really revived his career in 2019, now back here with the Giants. Former Astro, former Philly as well for Hunter Pence. Originally drafted back in 2004, and he swings and misses. That's a good first inning for German Marquez. Collects a couple strikeouts and a weak ground out. How about that start for Marquez? It's 1-0 Rockies after an inning of play. Ryan McMahon's going to lead off here in the top of the second inning. We saw how good Marquez looked in that first inning of work. Remember, back in April of just last year here in San Francisco was when Marquez tossed his complete game shutout one-hit gem. Hit a batter, gave up a walk, but struck out 9. The Rockies cruised to a victory in that one behind that excellent start by Marquez. McMahon swings and grounds one to second base. Flores off balance throw gets him, and that's out number 1. Here's the defense for the Giants. Left to right in the outfield, it's Mike Yastrzemski, Alex Dickerson, and Hunter Pence. Infield corner is Pablo Sandoval and Brandon Belt. Up the middle, your double play combination, Brandon Crawford and Wilmer Flores. And the battery consists of the catcher, Buster Posey, and today's starting pitcher, Derek Rodriguez. Ian Desmond will be the batter. Hitting .243 on the year. First pitch from Rodriguez is taken low. Desmond, 1 home run, came on the last homestand against the Cardinals. 6 runs batted in and a .645 OPS. He drew a couple walks in yesterday's ball game, as really the entire lineup, at least 1 through 7, got in on the action in some form yesterday, whether it be getting hits, driving in runs, or drawing some walks, as Desmond did. There's a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Desmond sitting on 182 career home runs across parts of 11 seasons between the Nationals, Rangers, and Rockies. 1-1 pitch is on the inside corner. Curveball for a called strike. Looks like a pitcher's strike zone today. And Rodriguez's 1-2 pitch is going to miss in the dirt with a curveball. That swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and that is out number 2 here in the second. Second strikeout of the day for Derek Rodriguez. He also got David Dahl to lead off this ball game, and here's the number 8 batter, Tony Wolters. Batting average has dropped down to .235. 5 RBI on the year for Wolters. First pitch from Rodriguez is taken for a strike. Wolters was on a real hot stretch by the time he went on the injured list with that right lat strain. And he's cooled off ever since returning. An 0-1 pitch from Rodriguez is taken low. Rodriguez, number 57, into his motion. The windup and the 1-1 pitch to Wolters is swung on and lined towards left field. Diving and not able to make the catch out there is Yastrzemski. That's going to drop for a base hit. A 2-out single for Tony Wolters will keep the line moving for German Marquez, one of the better hitting pitchers in baseball. We've seen Wolters, I think, consciously try to go to the opposite field early on this year. He's dunked a few hits down the left field line and into left field. First pitch to Marquez is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Marquez looking for his first hit on the season. Former Silver Slugger Award winner in the National League. Rodriguez now from the set position looks over his shoulder towards first base where Wolters is, delivers, and that pitch is going to miss in the dirt. Marquez, remember, acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays in 2016 along with Jake McGee. Corey Dickerson and Kevin Padlow going over to the Rockies. From the Rockies to the Rays. Pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 2 on Marquez. Looked at the time like Corey Dickerson was the biggest name in that deal. And if it wasn't, Jake McGee. But German Marquez has really proven to be the most valuable member of any team since that trade took place. There's a swing and a line drive. Base hit towards left center field. That one's headed up the gap and going down to the wall. Wolters will be waved around third, and he will score RBI double for German Marquez. There's the German Marquez with the offense we've come to know and love. Rockies have hit a ton of doubles this year. Phillies lead the league with 54, 50 for the Marlins, then Rockies are in third place with 48 of them. Just saw the Cardinals. They've had 47 on the year, along with the Pirates. German Marquez, former Silver Slugger, joins in on the fun. David Dahl, the batter, he takes first pitch strike. Oh, 1 pitch to Dahl is a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Dahl. He's had a good stretch. 9 for his last 29 at the plate. That's a .310 batting average over his last 7 games or so. So he has turned it on. Close to .250 with the batting average. There's a swing and a ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. Marquez going to be waved around third. Here's the throw to the plate, and it is well offline. Marquez will score RBI single for David Dahl, makes it 3-0 Rockies. And we will have a visit to the mound. Kurt Young, Giants pitching coach, is concerned about what he's seen from Derek Rodriguez. It's early on, and it's 3-0 Rockies. Rodriguez has ERA up over 6.75 to start the year, and he's not doing anything to bring that one down early in this game. Charlie Blackmon will be the batter. He got a base hit his first time up after a 4-hit game yesterday. First pitch from Rodriguez is taken for a strike with a fastball. Singled and scored in that first inning did Blackmon on the sac fly from Nolan Arenado. And that one's going to miss inside of the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blackmon has 174 career home runs across parts of 9 seasons, all with these Rockies. Plenty of doubles as well. Swung on and shot towards short. Going to first with it is Crawford, and that will retire the side. Blackmon grounds out to end the inning. Rockies push across a couple runs. RBIs for German Marquez, an RBI double, and David Dahl. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Colorado. Mikey Yastrzemski is in a rut to start the year, hitting .232. He leads off this bottom of the second. A .232 average, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in for him. Marquez shakes off. Wolters gets ready to deliver his first pitch here, and that swung on and ripped in the air towards right field. Going back on this one is Blackmon. He's got it in range now, and he will make the catch in front of the track for out number 1. Let's look at the Rockies' defense now. Outfield from left to right is Ian Desmond, David Dahl, and Charlie Blackmon. Left to right in the infield, we have Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Ryan McMahon, and Daniel Murphy, and Tony Wolters will be catching for German Marquez. Still last place in the National League are the Rockies. We will continue to look at that cursed image of the defense with the fielding percentage until the Rockies can get it back up. Pablo Sandoval, the batter, hitting .296 on the year, takes first pitch fastball low. 3 home runs, 10 runs driven in, and an .833 OPS. Solid start to the year for Pablo Sandoval, who the Giants brought back on a minor league deal, and he has paid dividends so far. He's been playing third base more often than Evan Longoria these days. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 151 career home runs for Pablo Sandoval across 12 seasons, most of them spent with these Giants. Did have a brief stint with the Red Sox, but it was one that Sandoval and the Red Sox would like to both forget. Swing and a miss for strike 2, 96-mile-an-hour fastball by him. Marquez looks sharp out there today. Sandoval definitely seems like he is more comfortable here in a Giants uniform. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lined foul down the third base line. The 1-2 is swung on and ripped in the air towards right field. Going back on this one is Blackman towards the right center field gap, and that ball is going to be gone. It's a home run for Pablo Sandoval, puts the Giants on the board. They trail it 3-1. 399 feet off the bat, 100.3 mile per hour exit velocity on that fourth home run of the year for Pablo Sandoval. The Panda strikes again against the Rockies. It's a smooth swing, folks. Alex Dickerson will be the batter. Good start for him this year, hitting .308. First pitch is swung on and grounded past the shortstop Story into left field for a base hit. The first 2 hits of the game for the Giants. Back-to-back hits here in the second. That'll bring up Brandon Belt. Belt struggling to start the year, hitting .195. First pitch from Marquez is taken for a strike. I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that there was no Coors hangover for the Rockies with the amount of runs they scored in yesterday's ball game. We'll talk a little bit more about what that all means after this 0-1 pitch. And that's taken low. There's a strike, 1-2 the count. That's inside, count evens at 2. Swung on and popped up. The shortstop Story is there to make the catch for out number 2. Former Purple Row writer Matt Gross wrote an article in 2014 about the Coors hangover, which found that using park-adjusted statistics, the Rockies ended up being an average team on offense at home, but they were much, much worse on the road than any other major league team. And that was looking at data from 2002 through 2014. So the idea here is, yes, Coors Field inflates offense, but when the Rockies come back to sea level, they really struggle to adjust, especially to things like breaking balls. But ultimately, some of the findings from Matt Gross were that all major league teams hit better at home, typically by around 8 points of weighted runs created plus. As Posey grounds one to first base, Murphy makes the play, and that'll retire the side. We're through 2 innings. We'll talk more about this Coors hangover when we return in the third. (3-1) Rockies here in the top of the third. Trevor Story leads things off. We're talking about the Coors hangover, and Matt Gross back in 2014 wrote an article at purplerow.com about it. So it was just a challenge that Matt Gross found was adjusting to the additional movement of pitches away from Coors Field. And there was a fan post on Purple Row back in 2019, is when it was updated, by Bike Chess, talking about the Coors hangover, kind of doing a little bit of an update on that. And that is recommended in its entirety. In fact, on the road, the Rockies continue to get worse through July, and at home, the Rockies improve into June, is what the findings found there in terms of how they perform on offense. And they get awful on the road, especially towards the months of July through the end of the season. See, right now, things are going pretty good for the Rockies on the road. We saw them score 7 runs in yesterday's ball game. And this is typically when they're at their best, the earliest on in the season in terms of offense on the road. And then at the very end of the year is when the offense gets the best at home. And it's typically more of a flattened line when you look at the Major League Baseball average as story walks in terms of how teams hit at home and on the road. It's always better at home and always worse on the road, but it tends to be more consistent. Well, the Rockies start off about the same in terms of how they play at home and on the road, but then the line goes down to almost essentially the worst. It goes to the worst in baseball. It does. And when they play on the road by the end of the year, and it gets towards the best in baseball, typically playing at home by the end of the year. The pitch outside to Arenado. And the Rockies strike out a ton on the road as well, especially as the season goes on. In fact, by 3 to 5% more as the season goes on. And I don't think this would be a thing that Major League Baseball would consider, but Bike Chess in his post, as Arenado skies one in the air to shallow center field, coming in as Dickerson. It's a long run. That's going to drop for a base hit. Story will move up to second base as the Rockies threaten for more runs here in the third. But the idea that was come up with by Bike Chess is that the Rockies should play the vast majority of their road games during the season's first half. Daniel Murphy will be the batter. He lines one foul and back to the screen. But on the subject, there are a lot of good fan posts at purplerow.com, and you can read them and you can write some of your own. That one, again, Bike Chess isn't a writer for Purple Row, but he came up with something that honestly is over my head a little bit. I would not be able to dig through all that data, and he did a great job of it as Murphy lines one into center field, and diving to make the catch out there is Dickerson. Tagging and going to third is Story. Runners on the corners with one out. That's a nice diving catch by Dickerson. Another fan post on purplerow.com was written by Jeremy Musing, and former Purple Row managing editor Eric Garcia McKinley took that and made it into a 6-part series because the amount of words in that article were in the tens of thousands, and it was just, Jeremy should have been paid for writing that, or someone should hire him or something, because there was a tremendous amount of work that went into writing that article. He called it a data-driven approach on fixing the Rockies. Because it was a rough year for the Rockies last year. 71-91 was their record, and not a whole lot was done to improve the team this offseason, at least from signing players from outside the organization. The reliance is going to be on players in the organization improving. There's a ton of different suggestions in that article from Jeremy in the 6-part series. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Posey, and throw down to first. Arenado will be back safely. Part of the suggestions in that post were getting better at hitting on the road, which goes back to that Coors hangover thing. McMahon swings, grounds one to first base, going to second for one, back to first, and double play. That's a really nice double play turn by the Giants. They'll prevent a further run from scoring. You go to the bottom of the third, 9-1 two-hitters do it for San Francisco. It's 3-1 Rockies. Here's how the Giants rank in terms of hitting, and a lot of this is due to Hunter Pence, but right now they're ranking third in the National League in runs scored per game at 4.78, sixth in average on base percentage and slugging percentage, eighth in home runs, and only 13th in stolen bases. But they are doing pretty well in terms of most offensive ranks in the NL. German Marquez will face the pitcher Derek Rodriguez, his opposing counterpart, here in the bottom of the third. Continuing to talk about Jeremy Musing's articles and series about how the Rockies could fix their team using data. As the first pitch is a strike on the inside corner. One thing he suggested was just kind of stop signing relievers, veteran relievers who have not pitched at Coors, who have not pitched for the Rockies during their career, who have pitched away from sea level for the majority of their career because it's a really tough adjustment for them. We saw that with Wade Davis and Brian Shaw. Jake McGee did look pretty good at one point, but he has mostly struggled in his Rockies career. He looks very good this year. Another thing suggested in the series was to start throwing splitters more, and that was suggested especially for Kyle Freeland and also two Rockies that actually are no longer with the organization, and Tyler Anderson and Chad Bettis. But those were suggestions that were made before they went their separate ways. Anderson now with these Giants, and Chad Bettis now in the Braves organization as German Marquez gets a swing and a miss, and Rodriguez strikes out. Third strikeout of the day for German Marquez. But the problem was for Anderson and Bettis that they had really bad changeups according to the data, and the splitter would be something that could work to their advantage. And Freeland, it was just more to add that pitch to his arsenal. Wilmer Flores takes a pitch high. Splitters apparently work very well at Coors Field. And the spin profile can benefit certain pitchers, so that was the suggestion made there. We also looked at perhaps the Rockies are teaching their pitchers to throw the fastball down in the zone, when actually it hasn't been working out for them. They've been getting hit hard, Rockies pitchers have, over the past few seasons on fastballs down in the zone. There's a ground ball past the second baseman McMahon into center field, a base hit. That's a one-out single for Wilmer Flores. But the old adage used to be that if you throw that sinking fastball down in the zone, it'll translate into some ground balls. But really, especially with the launch angle era, those balls have been just scooped up and taken right out of the yard. Those fastballs down in the zone with the hitters having that sort of arc on their swing and taking it right out of the yard. So that hasn't really worked. We spoke to John Gray this offseason, and he talked about, hey, when he went to Driveline, they helped him realize that he should be throwing his fastball up in the zone more because he's getting more swings and misses. There's a pitch low. And Gray's fastball does play up. Another situation was for Jeff Hoffman. That was who Jeremy Musing in his article suggested that the Rockies try this out more with, throwing that fastball high in the zone. Swinging a ground ball foul by Brandon Crawford. 1-2 is the count. So yeah, the whole thing is well worth a read in its entirety. Jeremy Musing and all those Purple Row fan posts as Marquez gets Crawford swinging. That's his fourth strikeout of the game and out number 2 here in the bottom of the third. You can write your own fan posts on purplerow.com if you have what you think is some really good data that the rest of us could benefit from. I've certainly benefited from reading both of these articles we mentioned by Bike Chess about the Coors hangover and by Jeremy Musing about data-driven approaches to fixing the Rockies. Hunter Pence takes a strike on the inside corner. Marquez, brief look over his shoulder towards the first base area, delivers a 0-1 to Pence, and that's high. Pence has 8 RBI over his last 7 games played. 1-1 pitch is taken just a bit inside of the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Hitters count now on Pence. There's a swing and a line drive on a hop towards the second baseman, McMahon. He flips to Story covering at the bag, and that will retire the side. We're through 3 innings in San Francisco. It's 3-1 Rockies. Manager Bud Black and pitching coach Steve Foster talking things over. It's been a solid start for German Marquez today. Ian Desmond will lead off here in the 4th inning. It's 3-1 Rockies. Eric Rodriguez up over the 50-pitch plateau. Desmond struck out his first time up. He is 0 for 3 in this series. Did draw a couple walks in yesterday's ball game. Rodriguez into his motion. The windup, his first pitch to Desmond is taken for a strike with a curveball. Desmond in the third year of his 5-year deal with the Rockies. Fourth year of his 5-year deal. Get it right that time. There's a pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Well, last week, Bud Black, Rockies manager, spoke to Jack Corrigan on Zoom, Rockies broadcaster Jack Corrigan, about how things are going. As Desmond swings and pops it up. Coming into foul territory is the first baseman, Belt. He makes the catch for out number 1. And Thomas Harding of MLB.com wrote about some of that conversation as we look at today's tops pitch speeds comparisons. 98 mile per hour is the highest velocity we've seen from German Marquez today, and 93 from Derek Rodriguez. As Tony Wolters will be the batter. He singled and scored his first time up, batting average at .257, .369 base percentage, .343 slugging percentage. Swing and a miss by Wolters. There's an 0 for 5 in yesterday's ball game, really brought that batting average down. The 0-1 is swung on and popped up. A couple pop-ups this inning. The shortstop Crawford onto the outfield grass will make the catch for out number 2. As Rodriguez tries to work a quick inning. That'll leave it up to German Marquez. Bud Black was tasked with answering a question about the relationship between Nolan Arenado and general manager Jeff Bridich. Black just said everyone needs to remember that both guys are extremely competitive and both guys want to win, and they're all trying to achieve the same goal. Marquez swings and misses. Black also said that Nolan Arenado took it to another level this spring as far as leadership. He thought that was a really great response by the Rockies' third baseman. 1-1 pitch to Marquez is taken high. There's a line drive foul down the right field line. Black also made some interesting comparisons between David Dahl and a couple of really good players in terms of the injuries that Dahl has suffered in his career as Marquez flies one to right. Black said, you look at the early years of Paul Molitor, even George Brett. George was a little bit banged up too and missed some time, and they figured it out. They figured out what it took to be a durable player. Interesting comments there. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-1 Rockies here in the bottom of the 4th. German Marquez out for another inning of work. He'll face Mike Yastrzemski to lead things off for the Giants. He's 0 for 1, flat out his first time up. He's 0 for 5 in the series. Really struggling to start the season is Yastrzemski. First pitch misses low, but that just means he's due. Pull shift on for him. Ryan McMahon into shallow right field, playing from the grass. Because that is where the data says Yastrzemski is most likely to hit the baseball. There's a swing and a line drive pulled foul. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And that one's low. Count goes full now with Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Really beautiful evening here in San Francisco at Oracle Park. There's a line drive towards center field. That is going to be caught by Dahl. A shoestring catch out there for out number 1. Yastrzemski hit that one better than any ball he's hit this series, but it settled right into the glove of David Dahl for out number 1. And Pablo Sandoval will be the batter. There's a swing and a line drive pulled foul. Noah Yingling over at the at Rocks Pile the Rockies affiliate for the fan-sided network. Also wrote down some of his transcriptions of the Bud Black conversation with Jack Corrigan over Zoom. Bud Black also said right now, so what has he been doing since game action has stopped? Well, he said his garage is clean as it's ever been. He's been doing a lot of yard work, raking leaves, also watching a lot of Netflix and watching classic games on MLB Network, which is probably what most people have been doing if they have been at home, says Yingling. There's a pitch inside, ball one. Black said he was planning on, I'm not sure if this already occurred or not, a Zoom call with Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Josh Fuentes, Ryan McMahon, Garrett Hampson, and a couple of coaches as well. They were going to all be in touch. 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. That's out number 2. 5th strikeout of the day for German Marquez, who's really firing it in there today. Alex Dickerson, the batter, he got a base hit his first time up. 325 average, 386 on base percentage, and a 550 slugging percentage for the talented center fielder in his sophomore campaign with the Giants. First pitch, curveball is going to miss outside. Dickerson, good numbers in his career off Marquez, 4 for 6. Got a base hit today. 1-0 pitch is swung on and chopped foul. There's a swing and a foul out of play. 1-2 the count. Strike 3 called. He got him on strikes. That's a really good inning of work for German Marquez, picking up his 7th strikeout of the day through 4. It's 3-1 Rockies. David Dahl leads off the 5th. 1 for 2 RBI single in this ball game. 3 for 8 in the series. 3-1 Rockies is your score. There's a first pitch strike to Dahl. Dahl 2 for 6 in yesterday's ball game. Got a couple of base hits in there. There's a line drive, base hit into center field. Leadoff single here in the 5th for David Dahl. Some more of that conversation Bud Black had over Zoom with Jack Corrigan as lefty Wendy Peralta and the righty Sean Anderson start to warm up in the San Francisco bullpen. First pitch from Rodriguez to Charlie Blackmon, the number 2 batter, will be swung on and pulled towards right field. On the run is Pence, and he'll leap and he won't be able to make the catch. Dahl is on his way to third base, and he will be held up there. Double for Blackmon. Runners on second and third with nobody out for the Rockies here in the 5th for Trevor Story. And we're going to have a pitching change. That is all for Derek Rodriguez today. Gabe Kapler out to make a move to the bullpen. Struggles continue early on this year for Pudge's son, Derek Rodriguez. ERA well over 6 for him. We'll see who the new pitcher is. It is going to be Logan Webb. 9 innings pitched, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, an ERA of 7. This is his 7th game of the year. 286 average against lefties, 308 against righties, so not the best of numbers to start the year for Webb. He'll be looking to turn things around. He's got to get through a couple of really good hitters with a couple runners in scoring position, though. First one is Trevor Story. First pitch is taken outside corner for a called strike. More in that conversation between Bud Black and Jack Corrigan. Black said spring training's likely going to be shortened a little bit when things resume in terms of baseball, if things resume. And Rob Manfred said on Tuesday that he definitely expects baseball to return. Story fouls one out of play. He's down quickly 0-2. Bud Black says that there's expectations that there will be expanded rosters like there were in 1995 with 28 players. There already was an expansion to 26 for 2020. But Black said he expects to see upwards of 29 to 30 guys on the roster when the regular season starts. That'll be interesting. And it'll be good for the Rockies because they have some tough decisions. You know, in our simulation, we sent down Brian Shaw was placed on waivers and then eventually released. we saw a situation where we'll pick it up after this 1-2 pitch. That one's low. Where Josh Fuentes was a player, Jonathan Daza, a couple players who would almost certainly make the roster if there were these, and perhaps Drew Butera and Dom Nunez as well, if there were these 29-30 spots available on the roster. 2-2 pitch from Webb to Story is swung on and pulled foul. It's going to miss. Full count now with Nolan Arenado waiting on deck. Some more in the trade rumors that Bud Black talked about. He said he texted with Nolan Arenado about the trade rumors involving him throughout January, and Nolan had great responses. That's it in the air towards center field. Dickerson will get there to make the catch. Tagging on this one, and scoring is Dahl, and now it's 4-1 Rockies. RBI sac fly for Trevor Story. Blackman stays put at second base. There will still be a runner in scoring position with one out for Nolan Arenado. RBI single his first time up. Rather, RBI sac fly his first time up. Then he got a base hit his second time up. This is his third plate appearance. And the first pitch is swung on and lifted in the air towards center field. Long run in there for Dickerson. He will get there, though. He'll put it away, and Blackman will have to hold. 2 outs now. Batter will be Daniel Murphy. And Bud Black said when things got off to their start in Arizona in spring training, he saw Nolan in the clubhouse, and he came up to him and gave him one of the best handshakes he's had all winter. Big smile, big hug, and they were ready to play. Daniel Murphy pulls one foul. Swung on and grounded towards second base. Flores kicks it, and his throw is not in time. Daniel Murphy with an infield, not an infield single. That'll be an error on the second baseman Flores. He'll beat it out, though. And the line will keep moving. Blackman on third base. There are 2 outs, and Ryan McMahon will be the batter. 0 for 2 in this game. He's put the ball on the ground twice for outs. Bud Black also spoke about how Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Raimel Tapia, Ian Desmond, John Gray, Tony Wolters, Daniel Murphy, among others, have been in the news for their donations related to the COVID-19 pandemic, helping out folks in need across the United States and elsewhere. McMahon skies one in the air to right. Pence makes the catch. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 Rockies. Many teams around baseball have done a good thing. They have pledged to pay baseball operations employees through at least May 31. One of those teams is the Rockies. Jeff Passan reported that on Monday evening. Lots of teams on that list. Rockies are one of them.
Whoa, that's down.
Pitch misses off the plate. More in that interview with Bud Black with Jack Corrigan on Zoom. 1-0 from Marquez is taken outside. Rockies, according to Black, have also had very few season ticket holders ask for refunds, which Black said was a testament to the tens of thousands of season ticket holders and other Rockies fans and their loyalty to the franchise. But while that's good news that we got about the Rockies paying their employees, there's a strike on the outside corner. Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic reported on Sunday that Commissioner Rob Manfred is going to be allowing teams to furlough or reduce pay to some employees during this COVID-19 pandemic because uniform employee contracts were suspended. There's a walk to Belt to lead off this bottom of the 5th. Of course, teams are not required to take measures like furloughing or reductions in pay, but there is the ability for teams to do so now, because Manfred is allowed to withhold pay in the event of a national emergency, which was declared on March 13th for the United States. Of course, there was that agreement reached by players and owners a couple weeks later on how players would be paid in the event of a shortened or canceled season, but there's a pitch inside to Posey. Swung on and fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike now. 1-1 pitch from Marquez is swung on and lined right to the first baseman Murphy, and he's right there to step on the bag for a double play. Oh, they don't get the out at first. My mistake. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like Murphy got to the bag in time. I suppose not. I'll have to go look at the replay on that one. Donovan Solano's going to pinch it in the pitcher's spot. First pitch is taken for a strike. 207 average to start the year for Solano. Next pitch will be number 69 of the day for German Marquez. Of course, there are also the possibilities of where baseball is going to play if the season does resume in Arizona. It's lined right to the third baseman, Arenado, for out number 2. Joel Sherman of the New York Post spoke to a veteran player who said, all right, you got a choice here. I'm going to kick you in the shin or kick you in the head. And Sherman said, well, I guess I will pick the shins. And the player responded, yep, that's the Arizona plan for you. It's terrible, but it's better than being kicked in the head. It was the second worst plan that there is. But the worst plan is not playing baseball at all. Swing and a miss. Wilmer Flores quickly down 0-2 in the count. So there is a lot of questions that need to be answered before plans to play in Arizona are finalized. Pitch outside.
1-2.
Swung on and lined into right field, a base hit by Murphy. Blackman will cut it off, and runners will be on first and second now with 2 outs. Definitely going to need an open mind for playing in Arizona as Brandon Crawford takes the pitch high. Also, Taiwan, however, has begun play. The CPBL. Those games are actually on Twitter if you want to watch live. They're actually starting English language broadcasts for those as well if you need your baseball fix and the simulation of the Rockies season here is not enough for you. And by the way, this is Ben Kuchner-Kevich along with Purple Row, who wants to let you know that we are not affiliated with MLB The Show, Major League Baseball, or the Colorado Rockies. But Taiwan has begun play. South Korea is going to begin spring training here shortly, this week. South Korea has installed infrared scanners that take the body temperature of every person who comes into the stadium, and they're instituting a no spitting rule. That's just something that'll have to be something that Major League Baseball players get used to. Seeds are part of the game, of course. There's a ground ball weakly cued towards second base. McMahon has to hurry. He'll flip to short, and they got him. Risky play there by McMahon, but they just do get the out. We're through 5, 4-1 Rockies.
Your attention, please.
Sean Anderson, new pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. 9 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, a 2.79 ERA. 10th game of the season. He has had a solid start to the year. First batter he will face is Ian Desmond, who's 0 for 2 on the day.
The left fielder, number 20, Ian Desmond.
There's a lot of different forms a schedule can take for Major League Baseball to play games in Arizona. One agent who Joel Sherman of the New York Post spoke to said they could see There being 5 locations as Desmond grounds one to second base. Flores makes the play this time for out number 1. There could be 6 locations of 5 teams, each with a 10-game series, then they move on to the next opponent, etc. So after that portion was done, 40 games would have been played, 10 against each of 4 opponents in your little pod, as they'd be restructuring divisions, and a month plus of more information gathered about travel and opening at other locations.
Oh, that's out.
Tony Walters takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Wendy Peralta, the lefty, and Handel Gustave, the righty, both warming up in the Giants' bullpen. We saw both of them in yesterday's ball game. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike now on Walters. There's a swing and a line drive towards right center field. That ball is going to be caught on a sliding catch by Hunter Pence for out number 2. A nice play by Pence. And that'll leave it up to the pitcher, German Marquez. 1 for 2 in this game, double on RBI double, then he scored a run. Looks like he'll get an opportunity to pitch a 6th inning of work, maybe more after that. Pitch inside. And it's ball 1. But baseball without fans has been done before. We saw that really odd series in Baltimore. I believe it was in 2015 against the White Sox when there were the riots going on in the city of Baltimore. The game was closed to fans, but they continued playing. It was a very eerie atmosphere, but hey, it was better. I think it was better. I enjoyed watching the game. Maybe not as much as if the roar of the crowd was there, but definitely what you'll take over no baseball at all. Of course, this is a very different situation than that one. Both of them not pleasant by any means. There's a fly ball into left. Yastrzemski under it, makes the catch. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Rockies. Bottom of the 6th inning, Hunter Pence will lead things off against German Marquez. Pence 0 for 2 in this ball game. Hasn't had many hitless games this season. First pitch from Marquez. Diving stop by Murphy. Takes it himself for out number 1. Nice play by Daniel Murphy at first base. And a good start to this 6th inning for Marquez, who needs some quick outs. That's 1 pitch and 1 out. Mike Yastrzemski takes first pitch inside, ball 1. Yastrzemski 3 for 7 with a home run in his career against Marquez. He's 0 for 2 today. The 1-0 is taken for a strike. It's down and in. Now it's a hitter's count on Mike Yastrzemski. Up and in, 3-1. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey said the state would be open to the idea of hosting all 30 teams in Major League Baseball. It's according to Nick Piacoro of the Arizona Republic. Swinging a foul out of play. Full count now on Yastrzemski. Ducey said he has had discussions with Rob Manfred. Swinging a foul out of play. Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has also expressed interest in hosting MLB games. Remember, DeSantis said WWE matches were essential businesses. So that certainly would likely go for Major League Baseball as well, though that hasn't really been in the discussion. Strike 3 called in the outside corner. Marquez gets his 7th strikeout of the game. That's out number 2 here in the 6th. There's the possibility, I suppose, that you could split teams between Florida and Arizona, like the Grapefruit and Cactus Leagues. Or even just going around, because this was reported last week by The Athletic about the possibility of rotating teams between the retractable roof stadiums across the country, like Chase Field in Phoenix, Miami, where the Marlins play. And then Tampa, Tropicana Field, or the Rays play, Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is the new ballpark. I don't think is it still called Globe Life Park? Wherever the Rangers are going to play this year. They just opened up that brand new stadium. They don't get to use it. That's unfortunate for them. And Sandoval lines one into center field, a base hit. I believe it's still Globe Life Park. Nope, it's Globe Life Field now. So, Globe Life is still involved. And also, what's the final one? The Minute Maid Park in Houston, where the Astros play. Waiting game right now. We will continue to watch for the latest information out of Major League Baseball and what they would like to do moving forward if they can play Major League Baseball games this year. 1 for 2 today is Alex Dickerson. He's a base hit in this ball game. A solid start to his season. Marquez trying to get him out quickly so maybe he can come back out for the 7th. Pitch is low, 2-0. And there's a strike. That Globe Life Field ballpark in Arlington is right across the street from Globe Life Park. Strike in the outside corner, count evens at 2, and they could certainly use a nice little retractable roof in Arlington. Gets pretty hot deep in the heart of Texas in the summertime. 2-2 pitch is swung on and chopped foul. And if it's not the heat, it's the humidity, and not so much of a problem with the humidity in Arizona, though it does still get very hot there, and they have the retractable roof at Chase Field. But very humid in Texas during the summer. Three-two pitch to Dickerson is taken low, ball 4, and that'll be a walk for Marquez. Miller Park also has a retractable roof where the Brewers play in Milwaukee. And Rogers Center in Toronto. Blue Jays play. Who knows what sort of logistics would have to go into the opening up of the borders between countries. Wade Davis, the righty. James Pazos, the lefty, warming up in the Rockies bullpen right now. Brandon Belts is the batter. Next pitch will be the 100th of the day from German Marquez. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled out of play. Quickly 0-2 on Belt. This will likely be the last inning for Marquez, and it is a very good outing for him. Not going more than 6 innings. I'm sure he'd like to have another inning, but he has pitched well today, just giving up that 1 run. Solo home run to Pablo Sandoval earlier in this one, but striking out 7, maybe even 8 if he can get Belt. And just a bit low with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Marquez wanted that one. That would have been quite a capper on his day. So swinging a ground ball pulled foul, and we'll do it one more time. Globe Life Park, the plan is for them to host XFL games. It's a foul out of play. Belt not going quietly. Football and soccer facility now. Also, Six Flags announced it's going to be moving its headquarters into their outfield office complex. There's a line drive, base hit into right field. And the bases are loaded now with 2 outs as that throw gets away. No runners will be able to cross the plate. Lester Posey will be the batter. 0 for 2, a line out and a ground out for him today. And And Marquez will try to get that elusive final out here in the bottom of the 6th. However, this is the go-ahead run at the plate now in Buster Posey. First pitch is swung on and missed, 95-mile-an-hour fastball by him. 27 pitches in this inning, quite the laborious inning for Marquez. 18 have been strikes, 9 have missed the zone. The 0-1 is in the dirt and blocked by the catcher, Walters. 1-1 pitch from Marquez is swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow left field. Coming in is Desmond, going out the shortstop. Trevor Story makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We're through 6 innings. It is 4-1 Rockies. Double switch time for Giants manager Gabe Kapler. This will kick off the 7th inning of play. New pitcher is going to be Wandy Peralta. 7.94 ERA on the year. A bit of a rough start for him. 5 2/3 innings. This is his 8th game. 5 strikeouts, 4 walks.
Wandy Peralta now playing first base and batting 9. Number 10, Evan Longoria.
Evan Longoria is going to take over at first base. It's an interesting move. David Dahl is the batter. 2 for 3 on the day, so Longoria now in the 9th spot in the order, and the pitcher's spot will be in the 7th spot of the order for the Giants. 1-0 pitch to Dahl is swung on and lifted in the air towards left. Long run on this one for Yastrzemski, but he'll get there and make the catch. Gosh, those movement trains are scarier than the Chevron cars, I think. Out in left field here at Oracle Park. Tony Watson and Handel Gustave, lefty and righty, warming up in the Giants bullpen. Charlie Blackmon, the batter, he's 2 for 3 today, double single and a run scored. I think Bud Blacks might be wanting to stick with that 2-3 combination of Blackmon and Story because it has certainly worked out today. First pitch to Blackmon is on the outside corner. Blackmon is now batting .275 on the year after it was a struggle to hit around .220 over the past couple weeks. There's a pitch outside. Blackmon also has good numbers in his career against Wandy Peralta, so you can throw it all the lefties you want against the lefties in the Rockies lineup. Most of them hit southpaw as well. Pitch inside. Hitters count now on Blackmon, 2-1. Two-one pitch, low and away, 3 balls and a strike with Trevor Story waiting on deck. He's got his batting average up to .233, 11 RBI now. That swung on and grounded foul. I suppose I should say this broadcast is also not affiliated with Chevron, after I mentioned them by name. Three-two pitch to Blackmon is strike 3 called. He got him on strikes. Blackmon wanted to head down to first base, dropped the bat, and began his sprint down towards the bag. No 90 feet for him. He will strike out, and that's out number 2. Trevor Story will be the batter. Rockies have only scored 4 runs. They've had a lot more base runners and a lot more opportunities. There's a strike. Double and an RBI in this game for Story. His on-base percentage up to .323 as he's drawn a couple walks in this game as well. Good to see those numbers climbing for the top of the Rockies order. David Dahl also looking better as of late as well. Ground ball pulled foul. Arenado was the first to get going. Then it was Ryan McMahon. Then Daniel Murphy. Then Blackmon and Dahl about the same time. Then Trevor Story. And now they're firing on all cylinders for the most part. Line drive up the gap in right center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall in the deepest part of the ballpark. We'll see if Story wants to get a triple out of this one. He's on his way to third, and he is in there. 2-out triple for Trevor Story. Here in the top of the 7th. Second triple of the year for Story.
The third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Five-tool talent, Trevor Story. The defense, the arm, the glove, the speed, the batting average, the power. And Nolan Arenado is going to be intentionally walked by Gabe Kapler. Saw that in the first inning of yesterday's ball game, and they're going to do it one more time. Arenado not being given the opportunity to hit.
The first baseman, number 9.
And Daniel Murphy will be the batter. He will try to make the Giants pay for underestimating him. Murphy 0 for 3 today, 2 for 8 in the series, had a double and a couple RBI yesterday. First pitch from Peralta, lefty on lefty matchup is taken just a bit outside with a changeup. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swung on and pulled down the right field line, headed towards the corner. Murphy makes them pay. Story scores easily. Arenado will be held at third. 5-1 Rockies RBI double for Daniel Murphy, his 10th double of the year.
Second baseman, McMahon.
Bring in all the lefties you want. You can't get these left-handed Rockies out. And now Ryan McMahon, who really has good numbers against lefties in his career, will be the batter. Reverse splits over his entire career. He's 0 for 3 today, so he is due, as was Murphy in the previous plate appearance. First pitch from Peralta is taken outside of the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Fly out for McMahon his last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Really good power numbers for McMahon this year. 1-0 is taken low with another changeup. McMahon only hitting .211 with runners in scoring position this year. Does have a couple 3-run home runs. And a very small sample, no matter how good or how bad those runners in scoring position numbers look this year for anyone. It's still quite early. 2-0 is going to miss inside. 3 balls and no strikes with Ian Desmond waiting on deck. Arenado, Murphy, and McMahon are the 3 Rockies who have started every game of the season so far. 3-0 pitch to McMahon is a check swing and a pitch outside. McMahon did not go. A 4-pitch walk. Now the bases will be loaded for Ian Desmond.
The left fielder, number 20, Ian Desmond.
And he really hits left-handed pitching well. He's a righty. We're going to have a pitching change. It will be Handel Gustave. 6 1/3 innings pitch, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's had some of the better numbers out of the Giants bullpen to start this season. Has 1 blown save, 7th game of the year. 2.84 ERA, 3.08 batting average against righties. Reverse splits. We talked about that in yesterday's ball game. Tons of reverse splits we've seen this year for the Rockies and the Giants. Ian Desmond 0 for 3, grounded out his last time up just an inning ago. That was the 6th. Righty on righty matchup. Gustave's first pitch is on its way, and it's just a bit high with a curveball. Nolan Arenado on third base, Daniel Murphy on second, and Ryan McMahon on first after he drew a 4-pitch walk. And Ian Desmond will try to put a crooked number on the board for the Rockies here in the 7th. That swung on and fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 4 strike, 297-mile-an-hour fastball by him. We'll take a look once again at the situation right now. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 5-1 Rockies lead. They have 10 hits in this ball game. Desmond trying to break through with his first hit of the day. And the pitch from Gustave is swung on and lined foul down the left field line. Tony Wolters is waiting on deck should Desmond keep the line moving. It's high and outside. Count evens at 2. German Marquez's day should be done now after 6 strong innings of work. Swinging a ground ball, chopped foul. Desmond stays alive. We've seen some very long plate appearances from Desmond this year. He has been very selective and fouling off quite a few pitches. The 2-2 is swung on and popped in the air towards right. Going back on this one is Pence, and he's going to have to play it off the wall. That's going to get 3 runs home. Bases clearing double for Desmond. His 4th double of the year now. It is 8-1 Rockies Tacos, and there is a crooked number for you. That ball just kept carrying and almost got out of here. Tony Wolters now the batter. It's Tony Watson and Reyes Moranta, the lefty and righty, are now up in the Giants bullpen. Wolters takes first pitch strike. 1 for 3 single and a run scored in this ball game for Tony Wolters. 1 bag for Tony in this game. Tony 1 bag. 0-1 pitch coming. Swung on and lined towards left. That's a long run for Yastrzemski into foul territory, and he won't get there. It's 0-2 quickly on Wolters. Oh-2 one more time is taken high with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. We'll do it again. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Gustave look over to second base, delivers, and it's swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. That will retire the side. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Rockies have an 8-1 lead. Take it away, Corey Schembri.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Double switch time for the Rockies. Bud Black out to make a change. New pitcher for the Rockies will be Jeff Hoffman. We'll try to get through these next few innings. Rockies have a very comfortable 7-run lead.
Hoffman, now playing left and batting 9, number 12.
Chris Owings is going to take over in left field. Ian Desmond's day is done after that bases clearing double in the top half of the 7th. Made it 8-1 Rockies. Jeff Hoffman, ERA up over 5 this year. This could be a nice low-stress situation to get that ERA down a couple runs. Evan Longoria is getting his first plate appearance of the ballgame. He came in on a double switch to take over at first base for Brandon Belt. Pitch high, 2-0. 261 average on the year for Evan Longoria, the former Ray. 2-0 pitch from Hoffman is swung on and popped foul and over the screen. Longoria will be looking for something to hit here. The 2-1 from Hoffman is swung on and chopped weakly foul down the third base line. Count evens at 2. Rockies look like they're in position to win this series. It's a pitch high, full count. Wilmer Flores waiting on deck. Padres have been the team to beat. Rockies keeping pace with their second place record in the division. There's a pitch outside, ball 4, and a leadoff walk here from Jeff Hoffman to Evan Longoria in the bottom of the 7th. Ball game where you lead by 7 runs, the last thing any manager wants to see is walks. You want to be going right after guys. 2 for 3 with a couple base hits in this game is Wilmer Flores. He's 3 for 8. Also had a base hit off John Gray in the first inning of yesterday's ball game. Swinging a chop foul by Flores. Former Diamondback, former Met, has really hit southpaw as well in his career. That has been his primary calling card. Remember when Flores, this was several years ago now, thought he was being traded at the deadline by the Mets. Ended up being false reports, but visibly emotional on the field was Flores. And that's a situation where if you're the Mets, you don't want to put your player in that kind of position. But now moving on is Flores with the Diamondbacks. Had a good year with them last year, and now with the Giants. To a solid start for them. 2-1 is the count on Flores. Hoffman from the set position gets ready to deliver his pitch. Here it comes. That swung on and lined towards left field. That's going to drop for a base hit in front of the new left fielder, Owings. And the first 2 runners are aboard for the Giants. There were a couple of lefties up in the Rockies bullpen. It was McGee and Pazos. In case Hoffman ran into some trouble, you'd like to see him be able to cruise through this low-stress situation. Brandon Crawford will be the batter. Now it is Wade Davis joining James Pazos. McGee has sat down. 0 for 3 in this ballgame is Crawford. Really rough start to the season for him, 173 batting average. Hoffman these days being utilized as the long reliever out of the Rockies bullpen. First pitch to Crawford is taken for a strike with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You can see Longoria on second base and Flores on first. Walk and a single lead off this bottom of the 7th. 0-1 pitch is inside with a curveball. And that one's high. Hitter's count now on Brandon Crawford. Comfortable 7-run lead for the Rockies. Jeff Hoffman needs to start throwing some more consistent strikes. That one's outside. 3 balls and a strike now with Hunter Pence, leading RBI man in the National League, waiting on deck. Here comes a 3-1 to Crawford. That's going to miss low, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for the Giants. Saw the Rockies blow a 6-run lead in San Diego on the last road trip. Haven't blown a 7-run lead yet this year, and we would certainly enjoy keeping it that way. Hunter Pence has been handled by the Rockies today. 0 for 3, ground out his last time up in the 6th. Just 1 for 7 in the series with that RBI double in yesterday's ball game. But not many teams have held him hitless here in 2020 at least. Hoffman from the set position. His first pitch to Pence is taken inside of the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Plenty of runners to drive in for Pence if he can get the pitch to do so. 1-0 is going to be a strike on the outside corner. And that's a strike. 1-2 the count now on Pence as Hoffman tries to work out of trouble. The 1-2 is inside the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Count evens at 2. Next pitch will be the 20th of this inning from Hoffman, still nobody out. 2-2 is swung on and chopped foul. That's swung on and grounded towards second base. McMahon goes to second for one, back to first, and that is a double play. That is what Jeff Hoffman needed right there. A run will cross the dish. It's 8-2 Rockies now. But they will definitely trade a couple outs for a run. Mike Yastrzemski, the batter, 0 for 3 on the day, a really rough start to his season. First pitch from Hoffman is swung on and fouled out of play. 22 pitches this inning for Hoffman, 10 have been strikes, so he struggled with his command a little bit. Made a big pitch when he needed to and got a double play there, though. To get Hunter Pence, who's 0 for 4 on the day, and no RBI either. Can't get an RBI in a double play. Pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's just a bit inside with a curveball. Hitters count now on Mike Yastrzemski. Hoffman's about to throw his 25th pitch of this 7th inning. Swung on and popped foul, and that's going to go out of play. Count evens at 2. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, and that'll retire the side. We're through 7 innings. It is 8-2 Rockies. See if the Rockies want to score any more runs, and see if Chris Owens can join in on the fun with his first plate appearance in the 8th. Chris Owens leads off the 8th inning, gets his first plate appearance of the ball game. Came in on a double switch. Ian Desmond out of the ball game now. Owings playing left field. Only a 190 batting average. Owings has not seen as consistent of playing time lately, and his batting average has dropped down a little bit. First pitch is a strike. A 1 from Handel Gustave is taken high and away with a slider. Gustave in for his second inning of work. 26,758 in attendance at Oracle Park, seeing their Giants lose 8-2 to the Rockies here in the 8th. And they're trying for more right now. Owings check swing, and he went too far, according to the home plate umpire. That is a 1-2 count now on Owings. One-two is high with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Good velocity from Gustave. There's a 2-2 outside in a full count now with David Dahl waiting on deck. David Dahl now hitting .255 on the season. Good to see our friends at the top of the Rockies order start to hit. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Throw down by Posey will complete the strikeout for out number 1. And David Dahl 2 for 4, a couple base hits, an RBI and a run scored. Batting average at .255, on base percentage at .327. Really climbing up towards respectable territory is David Dahl. He takes first pitch fastball for a strike. And that swung on and pulled foul. Dahl just a little bit out ahead of that one in the upper regions of the zone. It's quickly 0-2 on Dahl. And a swing and a foul the other way. One more time, an 0-2. That one's in the dirt. The slider, Dahl does not chase. 1-2 the count. Cubs beat the Padres today 12-2, so Rockies look to gain some ground. Albert Almora Jr. hit his first home run of the year. It's a line drive pulled foul by Dahl. One-two pitch is swung on and chopped foul at the plate. That's high and away. Other scores around baseball. White Sox beat the Royals 5-1. Whit Merrifield hit his second home run of the year for Kansas City. There's a ground ball foul. Angels beat the Orioles 7-5 in Anaheim at the Big A. Swinging a ground ball, pulled to first base, taking it himself is Longoria for out number 2. Cleveland beat Oakland 2-0. Shane Bieber gets his 4th win of the year. Mike Fiers his 5th loss already. He's 1-5. Complete game shutout for Shane Bieber, struck out 12. Charlie Blackmon will be the batter. Yankees beat the Tigers 13-2. Jay Happ gets the win for New York. And Daniel Norris is now 0-2, getting the loss for Detroit. Aaron Judge went 4 for 5, hit his 11th home run of the season. Kristen Stewart homered in a losing cause for the Tigers. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 12-6 in AL East action. It's a fly ball to left field off the bat of Blackmon. Making the catch on it is Yastrzemski. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. All Rockies today, they lead it by a score of 8-2. Pablo Sandoval leads off here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 for 3, a home run, single RBI on the day. 911 OPS for Sandoval, has had a really solid day and a really solid series. And a really solid season at that. Continue to check some scores around baseball here in the 8th. Astros beat the Rays 5-3. Roberto Ozuna gets the win. Kevin Kiermaier hits his 3rd home run of the season as part of a perfect day at the plate. 4th home run of the year for Carlos Correa. 1-0 pitch coming from Hoffman to Sandoval, who's out for his 2nd inning of work, is high and it's 2-0.
That's ball 3.
That misses. 3-0 now with Alex Dickerson waiting on deck. Phillies beat the Rangers 6-3 in interleague action. Vince Velasquez gets his 2nd win of the year. Kyle Gibson, former Twin, gets his 2nd loss. 4-pitch walk to Sandoval to lead off this inning. 8-2 Rockies. Hoffman has not looked the greatest from a control standpoint out on the mound. 30th pitch of the day that was. Alex Dickerson, the batter, 1 for 2. He got a base hit back in the 2nd inning. He's off to a good start this year. .317 with 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in.
Ball 1.
High and away with a fastball.
Count 1-0.
5 straight misses from Hoffman to start off this bottom of the 8th. And a situation where you really want to be going right after batters. Swing and a miss.
Count 1-1.
That would have been ball 2 and 6 straight misses, but Dickerson elects to take a hack at it. 1-1 the count now. Hoffman into his motion. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and chopped foul. 1-2 the count. And a swinging a ground ball back to the mound. Hoffman will throw to first. Wise decision by Hoffman to take the sure out. Sandoval advances to 2nd base with 1 out. We'll have a new pitcher. It's Wade Davis. See that ERA at 10.97, 10 2/3 innings. Righties have hit 448, lefties have hit 368. 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. That's not a bad ratio for Davis. 1-1 record. A few blown saves on the year. Not a save situation for him. Rob Brantley is going to pinch hit for the Giants. He had a pinch hit 3-run home run in last night's ball game off Carlos Estevez. 1 out and a runner aboard for him. Hitting .333 on the season. Backup catcher for the Giants, getting a couple pinch hit appearances. First pitch from Davis is going to miss low. 1,000 is the OPS for Brantley. That was his first home run of the year yesterday. Davis trying to get some work in. Hoffman throwing quite a few pitches here, so they were hoping, I think, to get some more out of him. 1-0 pitch is swung on and pulled foul. Davis in a very low-stress situation, trying to work things back so he can reclaim his closer role. Scott Oberg, however, has pitched well. Already picked up a few saves. 1-1 pitch. Low and away, and it's a hitter's count now on Rob Brantley, the pinch hitter. Wade Davis from the set position takes a look over towards second base, and his 2-1 offering is swung on and chopped towards second base. Off-balance throw by McMahon, fires to first, and Brantley looks like he runs well for a catcher. That's out number 2 as McMahon fires and gets him. Jake McGee and James Pazos are both up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Not sure which situation they would be used in. One of them will likely get the 9th. Not sure what difference it would make in terms of the scoring here. McGee and Pazos. Maybe if the Giants were to score, we'd see McGee. Or if the Rockies were to score more, we wouldn't see McGee. We'll see what happens. Pitch from Davis is taken in the dirt, and that ball is going to get away from Walters. Luckily, not a whole lot of speed there at third base with Pablo Sandoval, so no runner will advance. I think most runners would have come home on that one. Not Sandoval and not Posey in this lineup. Probably not, maybe Brandon Belt. I don't know. 2-0 the count. 0 for 3 on the day is Posey. And that pitch is going to be a strike at the knees. 2-1 the count. And a few hit batsmen on the year for Davis as well as part of his struggles. 2-1 is going to be swung on and lifted in the air towards right field. This is a long run for Blackman into foul territory, and that ball is going to be foul, and not by much. Almost hit the pole. And another 2-2 delivery will be coming from Davis to Posey, and it's swung on and lifted in the air towards center field. Camping under it and making the catch is David Dahl. That'll retire the side. We go to the 9th. Rockies will try for some more insurance. They lead at 8-2. They have Story, Arenado, and Murphy due up.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher for the Giants is Reyes Maranta. Really struggled to start this year. 19.29 ERA. 4.29 average against lefties, 500 against righties. First batter he will face is the righty Trevor Story. He's 2 for 2 today, double, triple, and RBI. Probably won't hit for the cycle unless we can see the Rockies bat around here in the 9th. 4 for 7 on this series. His batting average up over the 240 mark now. Really long climb to get there, and good things happening for Blackman, Dahl, and Story in this series. This offense can do some great things if all 1 through 6, maybe even 1 through 7 in this order can get things going. First pitch misses, and it's 1-0. Reyes Maranta. 1-0 delivery to Trevor Story is swung on and fouled out of play. Into his motion is Maranta. Wind up, and the 1-1 pitch is taken just a bit outside. Hitter's count now on Trevor Story. And a swing and a miss. Story expecting something else, flailing at a changeup, and the count evens at 2. That one's high, and the count goes full with Nolan Arenado waiting on deck. Rockies trying to get another leadoff base runner and score even more here in the ninth. That misses, and a leadoff walk to Trevor Story.
Now batting, third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado, the batter, 1 for 2 single RBI runs scored on his day. Also an intentional walk and a sac fly. First pitch from Moranta is taken outside. Well, Rockies have scored quite a few runs against the Giants in innings before. Back in 2016, I can't believe it was that long ago now. 13 runs in an inning, 17 batters sent to the plate. Back in May series in San Francisco, pitched low 2-0 on Arenado.
No strike.
Hitting is contagious. It's a pitch inside. 3-0 now on Arenado as Reyes Moranta, who's had troubles on the year, is struggling with his command to start off this ninth inning. 8-2 Rockies. Last thing that Gabe Kapler wants to see is all these pitches missing the zone. 3-0 to Arenado is swung on and missed. Arenado decides to go up hacking at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the 3-0. He comes up empty. Maybe just wants to get things over with. And that swung on and missed, so from 3-0 now 3-2 on Arenado. Count has been worked back full by Reyes Moranta. Walked Story to lead off this top of the ninth. 3-2 count on Nolan Arenado. The payoff pitch will be coming. And here it is. Swung on and fouled out of play. We'll do it again. There's a throw to first to drive back Trevor Story. One more time, a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Arenado chases what would have been ball 4. And that's out number 1. Arenado looked pretty uncomfortable in that at-bat against Reyes Moranta.
The first baseman, Daniel.
That'll bring up Daniel Murphy. One for 4 in this ball game is Murphy. Pitch is taken high with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 for 4 with a double RBI run scored in this game for Murphy. 3 for 9 with 3 RBIs in this series. Couple doubles for Murphy. He was the batter after Nolan Arenado was intentionally walked with 2 outs a couple innings ago, and Murphy made the Giants pay with an RBI double. Pitch was outside. 2-0 is now the count. Moranta from the set position delivers a 2-0 to Murphy. That misses outside. 3-0, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Good velocity from Moranta. Needs to locate, though. Ryan McMahon is waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance. 3-0 to Murphy is right down the heart of the plate for a called strike. As a bit of a Bronx cheer erupts in San Francisco. Bronx cheers, not just for the East Coast. 3-1 pitch coming to Murphy, and it swung on and fouled out of play, so it was a 3-0 count on Arenado, and Moranta came back to strike out him. And now a 3-0 count is a 3-2 count on Murphy. And the payoff pitch is swung on and fouled back. 8-2 Rockies here in the top of the ninth. They have scored plenty of runs. Tacos twice in this series in San Francisco. Line drive towards left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Couple Rockies aboard here in the top of the ninth. Second hit of the ball game for Daniel Murphy, a single and a double on his day. Ryan McMahon will get another opportunity. Man 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch from Maranta is swung on and popped up behind the plate. Posey will barely have to move in foul territory. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, the pitcher.
Pitcher's spot is due up for the Rockies. See if we will get Raimel Tapia. Yes, we will.
Pinch hitting for the Rockies. Number 15, Raimel Tapia.
Tapia on the year hitting 143. He's got a couple pinch hit appearances in the first 2 games, in the first game of this series, I should say. Last couple games, also got a hit when he pinch hit against the Cardinals in that final game of the series in Colorado on the homestand. 393 OPS for Tapia, a couple runs batted in. He's looking to improve those numbers. 0-1 pitch coming from Maranta is going to miss high and away with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 12 of 23 pitches this inning have been strikes from Maranta. Has not always been around the plate. We've seen 3-ball counts on most of the batters in this inning. 1-1 pitch coming to Tapia is going to miss low and away with a changeup. So the hitter's count now for Raimel Tapia, who's seen the majority of the pinch hitting action this season for the Rockies. There's a strike. The count evens at 2. And a swing and a pop-up. Third base side, foul territory. Fair territory, I should say. Sandoval makes the catch, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We'll see who's on to pitch for the Rockies. Rockies lead it by 6 runs.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Rockies,
James Pazos in to close things out.
James Pazos.
5.25 ERA on the year, 13 strikeouts, 7 walks. Drawing a walk in his first plate appearance of this game was Evan Longoria playing first base. He came in on a double switch. And Pazos will try to make quick work of the Giants and send this game to an end. And a Rockies win in the series. First pitch, swing and a miss by Longoria. And a line drive right back up the box into center field, a base hit. That'll lead off this 9th inning. First hit of the game for Longoria. He's been on base both times. That will bring up Wilmer Flores as the lineup turns over for the Giants. Jake McGee and Carlos Estevez, lefty and righty, warming up in the Rockies bullpen in case things get out of hand. There's the first pitch slider for a strike from Pazos. Flores had a good day at the plate. 3 for 4, 3 singles. His batting average is at .330 right now, a .416 on base, and an .882 OPS. Pazos' 0-1 is going to miss outside with a slider. Here's a look at some of the bullpen action for the Rockies. McGee and Estevez, double barrel action. 1-1 pitch will be coming from Pazos, and it's taken low. Hitter's count now on Wilmer Flores, trying to get his 4th hit of the day. And it swung on and popped foul back towards the screen. And a swing and a ground ball foul down the third base line. Arenado was ready to pounce on that one. 8-2 Rockies. Scoring early and often in this one. 2-2 pitch from Pazos is swung on and lined into right field, a base hit. Longoria had to hold up. He will get into second base. Couple runners aboard to start off this bottom of the 9th for the San Francisco Giants. Brandon Crawford will be the batter. 0 for 3 in this game, 0 for 7 in the series as he continues to struggle this year. Did have a walk in the 7th inning. Pazos looks at second base, delivers his first pitch to Crawford. That's a strike on the outside part of the outside corner. Longoria on second, Flores on first, both getting hits to kick off this bottom of the ninth inning. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup now for Pazos against Crawford. There's a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Crawford. We'll look at second base, and into his motion, the pitch is taken high and away. Pazos' former Seattle Mariner had some good years with them, especially 2018. Swinging a ground ball fair down the left field line. Over to cut it off is Owings. That'll get a run home. Longoria scores RBI single for Brandon Crawford, his first hit of this series, and it's an 8-3 ball game.
The right fielder, number 8,
Hunter Pence will be the batter. Jeff Hoffman got him to ground into a big inning-ending double play. Not inning-ending, but made it 2 outs on a bases loaded, nobody out situation. His last time up in the 7th. Pazos could really use a double play, the pitcher's best friend here. The look at second base, into his motion, the pitch is swung on and ripped in the air towards left field going back as Owings, he's going to dive, and it's over his head off the wall. Runners had to hold, and nobody's going to score on this. A very long single, but the bases are loaded with nobody out now. Mike Yastrzemski will be the batter. Bases loaded, nobody out situation for the Giants. And they're going to have to go to Scott Oberg, are the Rockies. This should not have to happen, I must say. 8 2/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks, and a few saves on the year for Scott Oberg. The closer will have to come in, barely giving up any hits. ERA sits at 0 on the year. And he's just trying to not allow any more base runners. Yastrzemski really struggling to start the year. 0 for 4. He struck out his last time up in the 7th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Giants in a game in which the Rockies lead 8-3 here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch is taken for a strike. Flores on third, Crawford on second, and Pence on first. There's the pitch high with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. If you're the Rockies, this is who you want at the plate in this situation. Yastrzemski really struggling this series, but he is due, and there's a ground ball chopped foul. Pazos not able to work out of trouble with his own creation here in the bottom of the 9th. And Bud Black is forced to go over to Scott Oberg as this game is getting a little bit tense. There's a ground ball hit towards second base. McMahon goes to second for 1, back to first, and that is a double play. Huge double play. Scott Oberg makes the pitch he needs to. A run will score, but the Rockies will take a couple outs for a run. It's an 8-4 ball game, and the Giants are down to their final out. Really rough start to this year for Mike Yastrzemski. My word. 0 for 5 today, and that double play caps it off. Last hope for the Giants is Pablo Sandoval. He's had a good day at the plate. 2 for 3 home runs, single RBI. 922 OPS on the year, a 361 on base percentage for the Panda. Scott Oberg, huge pitch to get that double play on the first batter he faces. And first pitch to Sandoval is going to be swung on and fouled back to the screen. 8-4 Rockies. They have been putting on an offensive clinic in this series. A 1 pitch from Oberg is taken outside of the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. The 1-1 delivery is swung on and fouled out of play. Oberg just needs 1 more strike to end this ball game now. The 1-2 from Oberg is high with a slider. Oberg into his motion from the set position, gets ready to deliver a 2-2 pitch. And it's swung on and lifted in the air towards center. Going back on this one is Dahl. Still going back. He's at the track, and he will make the catch right in front of the wall, and that is your ball game. Final score, Rockies 8, Giants 4. Got a little stressful there in the bottom of the ninth. Scott Oberg had to come in to close things out. But the Rockies will celebrate a victory today, and they have won this series against the Giants. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow. German Marquez pitched well, really set the tone for the Rockies today. 6 really strong innings of work, struck out 7 batters. Good enough for the win. Scott Oberg comes in and closes things out. He gets the save, his 4th of the year. German Marquez 2-2, his record now with the win. And Derek Rodriguez down to 0-5 with the loss. 8 runs on 12 hits for the Rockies, 4 runs on 11 hits for the Giants. So Marquez, his numbers. Well, first of all, let's talk about the player of the game. That's Trevor Story. He goes 2 for 2, a triple and a double. Also a couple walks, an RBI, a run scored. Really good day for him. Daniel Murphy goes 2 for 5 with a double and RBI. Ian Desmond 1 for 4 with a bases clearing double. Charlie Blackmon's got his batting average way up there now, almost at 270. 2 for 5 with a double in this game. German Marquez, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run allowed. Derek Rodriguez gives up 8 hits and 4 runs in 4 innings of work, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Scott Oberg gets the save today. And 1 inning, gets a double play, comes into a bases loaded, nobody out situation, then a fly out. On offense for the Giants, Pablo Sandoval goes 2 for 4 with a homer. Evan Longoria, and as part of the double switch, has a hit and a walk, 2 runs scored. Wilmer Flores goes 4 for 5 in this ballgame, and Brandon Belt 1 for 2 with a walk. Well, thank you for tuning in. Rockies have won this series by a final score today, 8-4, and they will go for the sweep against the Giants tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.